Hello, world. Welcome. Welcome to the third and final episode of this podcast. In the last episode, we touched on what is necessary for us to let go of in order to awaken ourselves to the reality of our inherent state of wholeness, so we can release ourselves from awareness of mind and become receptive to the inner guidance of awareness of self, transcending the source of all human dysfunction and ascending out of the internal chaos created by our personal mental storm, allowing us to discover the spacious inner silence and intrinsic aliveness only accessible through our highest self. An awareness which is our natural state of being, an eternal state of no mind, not a mindless state or a state of mindfulness, simply a state of complete freedom, a freedom impossible to explain, a freedom necessary to be experienced. This is an unconditional freedom, allowing us to simply be, to see ourselves in others, to see ourselves in all, to be limitless, to be one. This is where this episode is intended to lead us to. So let's dive into it. Let's begin to discover our own personal freedom. Freedom in the form of thoughtless wholeness. A wholeness without divisions. An instinctive wholeness that begins to surge from within as we begin to align ourselves with our highest self. A destined self-alignment with the power to deliver us from bondage. Releasing the self from countless lifetimes of perceived incompleteness. The state of existence where awareness of mind has complete dominance over all, where we live consumed in the mind by the mind, hurting ourselves and each other. A fragile mind state where thoughts are supreme. An illusory supremacy limited by its own nature. All that emerges from mind will eventually dissolve within the mind, returning back to itself like a superficial ripple of water on the surface of a vast ocean of consciousness. A ripple of mind we have convinced ourselves to be real. A momentary ripple that will come and go, quickly dissolving itself back into the vast ocean from where it came from, vanishing without leaving a trace of its brief and insignificant existence. So let's get started. Let's become a witness to our own reunion with self by transcending our fleeting ripple of mental conditioning, by releasing ourselves from the shallow ripple of mind we've been swimming in, and dive deep within ourselves into the most profound trenches of consciousness in the ocean of eternal wholeness. The refreshing waters of spacious oneness, returning to our natural state, a natural state of intrinsic radiance and gracious silence. At last, complete freedom. Freedom from the lie we have fed ourselves for eons. The lie that we are incomplete. The lie that we are imperfect and unworthy. Unworthy of discovering and experiencing our natural state of unconditioned beingness. The falsehood that our existence is meaningless and that you and I are singular, momentary, physical specks of elements separate from creation and disconnected from our inherent oneness. Accept it or not, awakening out of this illusory mental understanding of existence is what we are here to accomplish. Every path may be different, but the destination is always the same. A destination we will all struggle getting to. Duality will be our path. Emotions will be our guide. Thoughts will dictate our experiences, and our actions will reflect our progress. There will be highs, there will be lows. We will go through much pain and joy. However, in the end, we shall find our way home. We shall find our freedom. A freedom unlike anything we've ever experienced. Freedom to surrender, to allow every moment to be as it is. Freedom to experience life without the fragmented lens of mind, allowing us to be present, to be still, to be one. A one who is whole and undivided. A one who is complete and unwavering. A one who is at one with all there was, all there is, and all there will be. This is your destiny. Which path you take is up to you. In the end, this is where we will all help each other get to. You can get here now, in this exact moment. No need to meditate. no need for any sacred scriptures to memorize or any mantras to recite. There is no need for any of that. Simply let go. Let go of absolutely everything. This is done by letting go of every thought, by getting out of your head, by rising above your personal mental storm, and realizing the fictitious mental reality you once lived in is not real. It has never been real. It was always just a mirage, an illusion ready to be dissolved, a veil ready to be pierced through the moment you decide to let it all go. In that moment, the mind becomes obsolete, incapable of sustaining itself, no longer able to control you through fear, no longer able to sustain your story, the fictional mental story of yourself, the one you have been creating since birth, the delusional mental story created by the need of awareness of mind in you to exist, to be relevant, to be in control. It is this what must be released. It is this what must be let go. This is the core of humanity's perpetual dysfunction, the source of our conditioned blindness. This is what has kept us from seeing our truth, from being able to distinguish between reality and illusion, from recognizing our true identity and experiencing our unlimited potential, our potential to experience life from the limitless state of awareness of absolute wholeness, a wholeness that is free from the limitations of mind, a mind with a limited understanding of an unlimited self. An understanding of self we can easily overcome with a simple shift in awareness, an awareness that is at our complete disposal to direct inwards, allowing us to find our natural state of being, a state of beingness where there are no divisions, no limitations, no you and me, just one, a one that is complete, fully connected with the present moment, living in complete harmony with all there is, and as one with the unlimited will of the universe, a universe waiting to be expressed through us, through you, without hesitation or restrictions, a universe with a knowing that only the self-realized, only those who have shifted their awareness inwards and exist in the undivided state of unconditioned radiance, will possess the ability to use such an inexhaustible force to heal and guide others to their healing. Because it is only through healing where the incomplete self we have perceived ourselves to be can one day find its way back home, a compassionate, all-embracing home of unconditional love and absolute wholeness. A wholeness within all, a wholeness within reach, the instant we begin to let go. The moment we recognize each thought for what it is, a complete lie, a lie we can either become consumed in and give it power over us, or choose to transcend it. To transcend it by rising above it, like a plane ascending over a dark cloud and becoming a witnessing observer to a passing storm, a turbulent storm of thoughts, a passing expression of a conditioned awareness, a transient awareness of mind that will cease to exist the instant we recognize its true intention, an intention to keep us in bondage, to keep us in bondage until we decide bondage is no longer where we want to be, and that it's time to rise above our mental storm by letting it all go. This is ultimately where letting go leads to a dissolvement of mind and to a recognition of self, a simple self, a self that is in need of nothing because it is in all, a self who has finally returned to where it came from, a self who has pierced through the veil and experienced its true nature, a self who has released it all and willingly dissolved itself into nothingness, a nothingness of everything, a nothingness that is an expression of absolute wholeness, an abyss of pure consciousness, where all that is unreal, untrue, and incomplete is destined to return to and discover its true, unconditioned wholeness. Until we break free, until we awaken ourselves from the conditioned state of awareness of mind, we will continue to be its captive, enslaved by our own mental storm, a dysfunctional mental storm we can easily transcend with a simple shift in awareness, an inward shift with the power to guide us out of our incessant mental madness, allowing us to experience true freedom, freedom in the form of gracious silence, a silent recognition of wholeness, a destined recognition of self, a leap in consciousness destined to occur in all. In you, right here, right now, the instant you begin to redirect your awareness inwards towards the self in you, towards the being in you that is already healed, already whole, already one. This is your natural state, a state of beingness you will return to, a return home you will experience. The moment you finally decide that it's time to transcend your mind and feel whole again by letting it all go. Hey world, thanks for listening. I hope these words help release you from the grip of your own mental storm, allowing you to embrace your natural state of intrinsic, absolute oneness. Please stay tuned for more original content. If you have enjoyed what you've heard, please leave me a comment, like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, be kind. Be kind to yourself and others. Thank you.